Yeah, I might have to switch to the phone.
You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on. You still gotta think about me. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. I am the Midnight Rider. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. And if you can't tell, I got way more friends today than I had on Sunday. All right. It was just me, myself, and I on Sunday. Now I got the Gentleman Jack. I got the correspondent. I got the big KG, baby. And we're going to let you know some things today. Today we got a couple things to handle out of the gate. Then we're going to talk about the big news today. Terry not showing up, the holdout. We got the British Open results. We got a crazy little segment because we want to compare KG stadium idea to Stephen A. Smith's. If you ain't heard it, trust me, you're going to love it. It's going to be funny. We're going to try to get some basketball at the end, but we're going to have you in and out in an hour. All right? So this time for sure, we ain't going to do no overtime. But that being said, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, boys? Let's get airborne here. Let's get this thing kicked off. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
Good.
JC?
Hey, what's up, Midnight Rider? I got to give you a hat, little tip of the hat, baby. You did a great job Sunday morning, man. Great job.
Thanks, man.
I enjoyed it.
Hey, I knew if I could get into football, I could carry the rest of the show. Mm-hmm. I just had to get through the British.
I knew that too.
Yep. So I was working the whole angle. I was like, hey, because I was sitting there like, damn, what can I do? Because y'all hit at like 10:30. So I had my son come down. He looked up all my WNBA stats, and then we was good to go, man. So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. I guess KG's bounced around with some technical difficulties, but we'll get him in and we'll get his thoughts or whatever. See how he's feeling.
I'm in this thing, and I'm in this piece. I had to move to the phone while I'm working on the computer, but I'm here.
All right, cool, man. So let's start with the bad news. We've had some deaths, some significant ones in the world of Hollywood. The first up, everybody knew him as Theo Huxtable. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Story says that he was in somewhere, I guess, in the water. I don't know. He drowned.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, I think, yeah.
Beautiful, Costa Rica.
So the sad thing for me, or the thing that brought it too close to home, was one of my best friends, Sarah with an H, Graziana. She lost her brother a couple years ago to a water accident. Like a wave crashed into his back and like messed him all up. He eventually died from the injuries, and that's the first thing I thought of when they talked about the drowning. And then the next thing was just like, yo, that's Theo. And crazy story is, one day I was in this club called Mirrors in DC, and there was a band playing, and one of the guys in the band was Malcolm Jamal Warner. It was like a jazz band. So he had other talents outside of just the acting. Any thoughts, fellas? I'll start with Jack.
You know, Malcolm Jamal Warner, you're correct. He was a very talented young man, gentleman. I'm saying young man because he's probably younger than me. But, I mean, he was in the sports. He was in the acting, He did a little bit of everything. And whoever is my age, let's say 40 and up. Let's say 40, 45 and up. Anybody like that, they had the Huxtables in their life. No doubt. I mean, that was the family show. And it was about a black family, and white families watched it. You know what I'm saying? I used to always say that about Sanford and Son. That's a black show, but all the white people watch it. So the Huxtables, the Huxtables was a cool family, and everybody knew Theo Huxtable, man. It was great. And Costa Rica, man, is some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. I got caught like that in Myrtle Beach one time on a little rolling wave, and it kept me under, and it just throws you like a washing machine. And it happens to surfers a lot. So, yeah, you can never not respect the power of the ocean. It's tremendous. Every time you're in the ocean, you need to be on your toes.
Yeah, they said it was a riptide. Riptide pulled him out, and I guess there wasn't someone that could swim good enough to assist him. It's really quite tragic. I mean, Malcolm Jamal Warner was a multi-talented dude. He played music, like you guys said. He was a great actor. You think of the Cosby Show as a comedy, but like I'm a year ago.
Life.
The conversations he was having with his parents are the same conversations I was having at that point in time, in my life. So it was a highly relatable show. And they, again, it was a comedy, but they touched on topics, that moved the needle, that really, that sort of touched, lives at that time. They hit some soft spots, if you will, and some controversial topics. So yeah, I mean, and every Thanksgiving when I'm with my brothers, there's one episode really quick because I know we got to run, but there's a Thanksgiving episode where they're going around the family and everyone's saying what they're thankful for. And it's taken forever. Everyone's just taking way too long. And it gets to him and he's like, I'll be thankful when everyone else is done being thankful. I'm ready to eat. Let's go. And we always have that joke, my brothers, my family, whoever I'm with at that particular time. And I thought about that today. The first, when I heard you pass, that's one of the first things I thought of. So RIP, MJ Dub.
Big guy.
Well, I'll say this. This segment is brought to you by Gordon Gartrell. If you know, you know. So I mean, our generation grew up with him as Theo Huxtable. My kids' generation grew up with him as the producer on the Magic School Bus. Matty Ice referenced a couple of movies that he was in. He was Cappy in Tuskegee Airmen, which is one of my favorite movies. He meant a lot, and he wasn't quiet about his feelings. And I always loved that he was able to speak up and say how he felt. So this is a great tragedy, man. And Midnight Rider, to your point, you said it hit close to home. It's same thing. I had a classmate and a friend. Him and his brother this was 4 years ago. They were out in Puerto Rico, and they got caught up in a riptide. And both of them were Marines, very avid swimmers. Got caught up in a riptide and taken out, and they lost their lives the same way. Huh?
Were they twins?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just asked because there was another story similar to that either a year or two ago where it was a set of brothers that lost their lives, but I thought they were twins.
Nah, I think Raw was the youngest one. His brother was older.
Okay.
You know what? I shared a passing of a DeMatha athlete recently, and he was a star quarterback at DeMatha during his time. I want to say late 80s, and he had a big accident in Ocean City with
Strachan.
and he got thrown around and got paralyzed.
Timothy Strachan.
Yes, that's his name. I was trying to think of it right here. And I mean, he had big things on the horizon, and that accident ruined all his dreams, man. But
I tell you what, guys,
life.
that Thursday night lineup on NBC that he was a part of was legendary, right? I mean, Cosby Show, Family Ties, and then Cheers, and then Night Court back to back to back. I mean, that's
wow. You remember that?
Amazing. Those are all bangers.
I don't remember. Yeah, definitely.
Man, Keith looked that up. It took him 2 minutes to find that, man.
He sure did. He found that lineup.
All right, guys, real quick. We got well, not real
He's
quick.
the correspondent.
Exactly. The other passing away that we have to give time to is the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. And it was amazing to me because I think a couple of days ago he had just had a concert. I think it was like kind of one of the last concerts he was going to ever do. And actually, Jack, go ahead and take it away, man. Take it away because you know more than I do.
He actually did a little farewell Black Sabbath thing. You know, he got together with those guys finally. I mean, because they've been having beef since back in the day when they broke up. So they did a farewell tour, whatever these old guys are doing now. It's amazing that 70-something-year-old rockers can fill stadiums. But hey, get paid because they're getting paid more in one event than they did in their whole career in the 70s and 80s. You know? So Ozzy, he did that tour, and on July 5th was a show he did, and they had a big old throne. Ozzy always liked thrones, big thrones, you know. And they say he sat down quite a bit during the performance, even sang from sitting, a sitting position. Parkinson's. Ozzy has been diagnosed with Parkinson's for a little while now, and he was dealing with it. Man, I tell you, it took me a minute to get into Ozzy, and it took me a minute to get into Metallica, because back then I was in the middle of my hip-hop days and all that, and then I started lifting weights, and that's all the guys would play in the weight room was Metallica and Ozzy. And then I went and seen him at the Capitol Center. The man bit the head off a bat, guys. It's not fake. I seen it. So, you know, then he got into what's it called? TV. He got into TV. Reality. He got into reality TV with his family. I think Sharon's funny as hell. I think Jack was a drug addict back when they had that show. He was up and down. And I forgot Ozzy's daughter's name.
Kelly.
Kelly Osbourne. That was pretty awesome to follow the Osbourne family and really see what they're like versus just remembering seeing Ozzy biting the head off a bat. So God bless you, Ozzy. I'm not sure where you're going, bro. You had a hell of a career. And that's what he told Sharon about 3 weeks ago. He said, this has been a hell of a ride. Hell of a ride. So, R.I.P. Ozzy, man.
Yeah, the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, Jack, I think you pretty much touched on pretty much everything I was going to say. To kind of tie this to sports, I think we've all been at a live venue where they played the intro to his song Crazy Train, like coming out of a break or coming out of a timeout or whatever it is. So, that's a legendary riff, a great song. He was one of the first guys to open up their house, like Jack said, as far as reality, TV is concerned.
Yeah, man.
Way back then. Yeah, his notorious behavior, snorting ants, doing just wackadoo stuff. He could sing the phone book. That's one thing he could do. He could sing. That's for sure. I mean, he did it with Black Sabbath. He had his solo career. So fly high again, Ozzy. R.I.P., buddy.
Fly, baby.
KG.
Well, I guess it's on me. For the entire Jim Zorn era, at the end of every season, Crazy Train was a song how I wrapped up the Washington Redskins season every year. Ozzy meant a lot because being the son of a musician, you get into different things. And Blizzard of Oz was one of the first rock albums I really dived into.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing the lineup that he had at that time, and knowing that
KG's no good.
Did he just
okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's hold on to KG and see if we can get him on the other side. Also on the side, we're going to get you some information about what's happening today in the sports
I
world.
woke up from a nap and saying that really hurt.
So we'll be right back after this break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the Sideline Junkies. It's the Tuesday Night Flight. It's the Midnight Riders, the Gentleman Jack. It's the correspondent. We just lost the big guy, KG. So what we're going to hit you with today, or up next, is the big news of the day. We were going to lead off with the British Open, but the second we got the Terry McLaurin holdout, I figured that had to jump to the front of the line. So I don't know what everybody's feelings are. So let's just be in the tree of trust and share our feelings right now. Jack Carr, Terry McLaurin holdout. What's your thoughts?
I don't think it's gonna last long. I did think he was going to get signed by this past weekend. That was what I said last week, and I still stick by it. It's coming. It's coming soon. Next 10 days. I think it's going to be somewhere in the $33 million range. Not what Terry's looking for, but
how many years? How many years at 33?
I'd go 33 for 3.
So he's under contract. He's under contract now. So you're going to bolt on 2 more years or 3 more years, make it 4 or make it 3.
I would do it 33, 99 for 3. And I just see that because I believe Washington offered him 30 at one point earlier, and he wants 35. So I think 33 will be a good middle. And if I know Terry McLaurin, man, he's chomping at the bit to get out there and work. That's just all we've seen out of him the past 5-6 years. He's a worker, and he needs to get back into working on the chemistry with JD5. So I hate holdouts once camp starts and stuff, and please get them set up before preseason games start. So I think Terry gonna get locked up before them boys over at Dallas do. I can't believe what's going on over in Dallas, man. But we can talk about that on another show. Dallas is just haywire. I don't want Washington to be like that, you know. So I think Terry's gonna get locked up in about 10 days.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I see both sides of this. You know, for me, the first thing that comes to mind, I know Terry, you could probably make the case he's the second best player on the team, but he's still not AP and Dan Quinn's guy. I mean, necessarily, you know what I mean? He's not a draft pick. He's not he's not Frankie Louvu, who they went out and gotten brought in because they liked the player. So, Terry's under contract. I tend to agree with Jack. I mean, you got to pay him. You can't imagine what this receiving core is going to look like without him, right? It's
right.
Well, bottom third of the league without him there, right? Easily, right? So they got to figure out how to make this work, but at the right price. I think it's the years. I think knowing you got to pay Jaden in 2 more years, I think they'd love to give Terry a 2-year extension, which would mean this year and 2 more. And I guarantee you, he wants 1 more. He really wants 4.
He wants 3 or 4. Nobody wants 2.
Yeah, but he could take it if he's going to play as great as he's talking about at his Eastern Motors commercial. Then he can take another bite at the apple. Then.
Yeah, but you got to look here. This is a great wide receiver. Okay, I feel that. I do feel that. But he's only a 2-time Pro Bowler. So, it's not like he's been showing out as one of the NFL tops. So,
look, he's Mr. Redskin. Like he's done. I mean, he's been through hell and back with this organization. But I can't.
Commander.
They're not going to give him brownie points for his 1,004-yard season with Taylor Heineke. They're just not. You know what I mean? That's in the past. You value a player by what they look like moving forward. So they need to pay him. He needs to be on the team, but it just needs to be at the right price. We can't leverage any future capital, if you will, and getting salary, have salary cap issues by overpaying Terry McLaurin, in my opinion.
I'm a little perturbed that you gentlemen are talking like this. Are we talking about the captain? Are we talking about Scary Terry? Y'all talking about? And yes, he was a Redskin, but are we talking about? I think if I'm not mistaken, he's the last Redskin that was on the
Tressway, too.
roster.
Yeah.
Tressway was a Redskin.
No, it's three
I
of
don't
them.
think so.
Reeves too.
It's Reeves, Tressway,
McLaurin?
actually four.
Yeah.
Payne and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, and Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin, I didn't think he played for the Skin. I thought he was always a commander.
Nope, he was a Redskin.
Now, drafted by Jay Gruden's folks.
Yeah, his first year was a Redskin. His second
2019
year was the football team or something like that.
Well,
Last two have been the Commanders.
Now I'm gonna say this. Terry has 6,379 yards right now in a career. Last year was the first year he had a quarterback because him and Dwayne Haskins didn't get to hook up the way that they should have.
Dwayne sucks.
But whoa, Jack.
I continue to say that to you every day and twice on Sunday. Dwayne
Jack,
Haskins sucked. R.I.P.
Jack, we're not gonna get into that. I'm gonna tell you something. My manager tell me we'll take that offline. We'll talk about that offline. But
Sure.
see that's house business. We're gonna handle that in the back. We're not gonna handle that in front of the company. We're gonna handle that in the back. But this is the first year.
I'll take you to the shed if you want.
This is the first year that Terry has had a quarterback. 82 catches, 1,096 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Career highs in touchdowns. Okay.
You need 100. You need 100 catches. 95. You need 100 catches. 95. 80 some catches. You need 100.
You act like we didn't have other receivers. When you're forcing the ball to a player, you're going to get 100. But when he was being doubled, somebody else had to step up. Come on now. But hold on.
Washington needs to get him into the play, into the game plan more. Terry McLaurin should get 10 to 12 targets and 8 to 10 catches a game. He's not getting that. Never has. He should. I'm sorry, KG. I was just bumped up.
You say that, but they've been double teaming Terry, but Terry wants top 10 money. He said, I don't want top 3 money. I don't want top 5. I just want top 10 money. I said this when he was up for contract. What was that? 2021, 22, whatever he was up for contract last. I told the Midnight Rider who's sitting to my right. And I told the boss BJ who's down in the comments, Terry's going to get top 3 money. These two gentlemen told me it wasn't going to happen. Guess what?
No way.
It happened. It freaking happened. He's going to get top money. He's going to get 33 plus million. He's going to be with this team because he wants to be here. They want him here. He's going to be here. They just got to get together on the numbers and the years. And what's the guaranteed money? We got money to give. Let's go ahead and just do it and sign it. If Terry McLaurin is not signed and he holds out, he's not here after next year, after he plays his last season, the whole city going to revolt. You know how many people want Terry here? Come on now.
Happens all over the league, man. Happens all over the league.
Yeah, they're going to take that Metcalf contract, and it's got to look like that. I think something like that. Even though Terry's 3 years older than DK.
Yes,
I think the contract needs to look something like that, and that's right around around 31, somewhere in there, 31, 32.
It's 33, I think.
Spot on.
Yeah,
but Keith, you hear big guy talking about top 10 money. That's what they offered him, 30 mil. That's top 10 money. 30.
I mean, we
I don't think Terry's top 10. I don't think Terry's top 10. He's just outside of it.
Yeah, all right, so here we go. Let's hit the comments real quick. Yeah. Comments. Boss Man says, evening, gentlemen. Matty Ice jumps in. Saw some of the final show. Now it has those Freddie Mercury at Live Aid vibes. Sam R, Mr. Consistency. Well, he been off lately. I think he went on vacation. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner and Ozzy Osbourne. Mm-hmm. Sam R back again. What's up, guys? Sam R. Hold up. There we go. Hold up. There we go. Y'all having a 5 heartbeats moment. I'm glad y'all caught that. Samar again. I like that. Top 10 money, so no high expectations.
No.
And then Samar again says, "Is this a rerun episode?" No, Sam. We are live and direct, coming to you again.
Let me say this real quick, Midnight Rider, before you move on. You,
not moving on.
I just wanted to say this real quick, and I'm done. DJ Moore, T. Higgins, AJ Brown, Brandon Ayuk, Garrett Wilson. Those are all. That's the bottom 5 of the top 10. And you telling me Terry not better than those dudes? And you telling me Terry not better than them?
Not
You
AJ
gone
Brown.
crazy, man.
Not AJ Brown.
Terry not better than Garrett Wilson.
What? You gone? You know what? Go ahead,
Nah.
Midnight Rider. Take this because Jack on the wacky
He
tobacco
need a
tonight.
quarterback too. He need a quarterback too. Garrett Wilson need a quarterback too. That boy's sick.
Garrett Wilson's a bum. You're a bum, Rock.
Oh, nah. Hold on.
Oh Lord, gonna get me
You
back
can't say
on
a guy
you,
that
man.
caused.
No. I'm just bitter. I had him in fantasy one year and he ain't had no quarterback, so I'm just bitter. That's all.
Right. He don't have no QB, and he's doing well.
And Samar says
I
the
don't know,
only
man.
good Terry is Hulk Hogan. We're not
Stop
touching
it.
that.
Stop it.
We're not
That's
touching
stupid.
that.
You
Dude, we're getting off
stupid.
the rails like a crazy train, like Ozzy would say.
So real quick,
Good
my
plug.
thoughts are simple. I think Terry got what he wanted. Terry came out with his come to Jesus moment, and this was pull the fans to my side, hear my plea, hear my cry. I'm undervalued, I'm this and I'm that. So now, no matter how this holdout goes, this holdout is always on the team side for not giving Terry what he wanted, not anything else. Terry played his cards correctly. Like if there was a handbook to turn the fans against the organization, he did a great job of that. And I applaud you for that, son.
I mean, damn near cried. Shit.
Yeah, he did. And it was perfect. Like when he set it up, I mean, the only thing was missing was like the millions and millions in attendance and like a microphone in his hand in a square circle. He played this perfectly.
I need a sequin robe too, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't think Terry's a sequin robe kind of guy. Terry probably comes out in like a t-shirt, with what on the front of it. Nah, he's too quiet for that. What would he come out as a wrestler? I don't know. But that's for a day later on. Actually, we passed those days. What Terry McLaurin, the wrestler, would look like. But no, seriously, I think the problem is I hate this happening this way. And the reason I hate that this happened this way is because we're about to get into lazy narratives. This is going to be lazy narrative season. The narrative is going to be, he should be there because he got to build up camaraderie with his teammates. Like the last 365 days, they ain't built no camaraderie. Oh, he got to be there to get timing with JD.
Yeah.
Like they haven't had that the last 365 days. We're going to get into lazy narrative season. And then if they start slow, oh my God. Ready to blow up. Oh, if they had just paid Terry on time, we wouldn't be
thought about that.
Or
I'll just finish with this. I just think the timing sucks, right? Because we got the president sending out tweets about the damn name. We got the stadium deal. We can't get the votes, as quickly as a lot of grandstanding and propaganda. All this stuff's happening behind the scenes. Everybody's trying to get their back scratched before we can get this stadium built. So it feels like a few years ago when we couldn't, like this, just treading in water like this with this team, just could not get anything positive brewing. And I just feel like that's 3 things right now that just are unsettling for me.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to, because I got some comments from Mendelssohn today. Depending on how fast this Stephen A versus KG thing goes, if that goes by quickly, I'm gonna try to get some of that information so we can kick that. But we shouldn't tease KG for his thoughts about how the new stadium should be for too long. We shouldn't get too carried away with that. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Tuesday Night Flight. We are the Sideline Junkies. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with I guess it's the question of the day, the thing of the day, the Stephen A. Smith versus the KG Stadium idea. We'll be right back. All right, so actually, I misspoke because I forgot that since we have the correspondent here, we need to get to the British Open and the results from the British Open. So I apologize for that setup.
Oh, I thought I was going to close the show. Okay, I'm just going to be. I'm going to be no.
You ain't been here long enough to be a closer.
All right, well, there we go. I'm going to give it my best shot here. So
let's roll, Keith.
Open Championship. From Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland is in the books. Scotty Scheffler just cruises to a pretty easy 4-shot lead. You know, I think the big thing in, you know, with the weekend for me, or really, you know, Thursday through Sunday for me was the weather. It never happened. I mean, I even had it on my phone. I'm watching the 29 mile an hour sustained winds, sideways rain. Never happened. Guys, Sunday, it looked like they were down in Myrtle Beach. I mean, they had short sleeves on. They were comfortable as you could possibly be. So Scotty Scheffler, when he gets a lead in a major tournament or any tournament for that matter, guys, I'm calling him Sherwin-Williams now. It's like watching paint dry. I mean, it's in the fairway, it's on the green, and it's a birdie or it's a par, and there's just no damage. There's no stress. This guy's got himself in a mindset somehow where it's almost like he's got everything in life figured out. And when he gets on that golf course, that's the only thing that matters. It's like, you know, some of his press conference, he talked about it. Like, as soon as I feel like golf is defining me, I'm going to stop playing golf. It's more important for me to be a great father and a great husband and those types of things. So I don't know. He's got himself really mentally in a sweet spot here. You know, he's won 4 majors in the last 3 years. He's other than Jack and the Big Cat, right? I mean, he's actually a top 20 golfer statistically of all time. I mean, he's only been on tour, you know, 6 or 7 years. So he's crushing it. You know, it kind of reminds me, I was thinking about his sort of demeanor and how he kind of reminds me of like Pete Sampras or Tim Duncan, you know what I mean? Where they just go out and play, and it is what it is. And they don't, like, when they walk off the court or whatever, they don't take anything with them. You know what I mean? But they're still competitive badasses, and they're able to compartmentalize, you know, their thoughts and their nerves, right? To where they can get themselves in like I said before, in a really, really, really sweet spot. I mean, he's got 17 wins and 61 starts. I wrote that down. He's got the 4 majors I referenced. He's a gold medalist. You know, he won the gold medal at the last Olympics. So he's in a really good spot. You know, some of the guys that I had my eye on, John Rahm was one. He finished 3 under par. Did not fare well. Again, I was thinking the conditions were going to be a lot worse. I like Fitzpatrick. Go ahead.
I said, me too. I think me and Midnight Rider predicted winning score was going to be 3 or 4 under.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah, and the winning score was 17 under because there was no weather.
Let me get to that, because I was going to ask this question too, and I see in our comments Matty Ice asked it. Matty Ice is going to say, this is pretty much probably to you, Keith. How surprising was the scores for you in the tournament? When was the last time the British had scores like this? I don't recall the British being over 10 under.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tiger was 12 or 13 under at St. Andrews in the early 2000s. But I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
25 years.
Yeah, it's been a long. I mean, so they were expecting the weather, so that they moved the tees up. The course was kind of set up, and the pin placements were for some really challenging, difficult golf. And I mean, obviously some
Right.
guys struggled. Not everyone shot 17 under. Only one dude did. But there's way more guys under par than I ever thought there would have been. So the course just played, incredibly easy. Big shout out to Ted Scott. That's Scotty Scheffler's caddy. He's won 1.92. He's earned, I should say, $1.92 million in caddy earnings this year, which is above the average pay of a PGA Tour professional this calendar year so far.
Wow. Wow. That can't be more than Steve made with Tiger, though.
Yeah,
But the purses. There's only 4 golfers in the history of golf at this point now that have earned over 90 million in prize money. Not Tiger, Phil, Scotty, and
Rory?
there's one more. Scotty,
Rory?
Phil. What's that?
Rory?
No, it's not Rory. No, it's
Not
somebody
Rory?
else. I thought I wrote it.
JT.
No.
JT Thomas.
Nah, JT not close.
I like JT.
Well, the stat I heard was
Oh, it is Rory. I'm sorry, it is Rory. It is Rory.
okay.
Tiger, Rory, Phil, and Scotty. Over $90 million in earnings.
So I heard a stat where from their first tournament win to their third, Tiger and Scheffler had the same amount of days or something like that.
Yeah,
And
so
the majors,
so from their first major championship to their fourth,
right?
okay, was the exact same amount of days. I think it was something like 1,182 days, which is crazy. But so I looked it up when I saw that during the broadcast. I looked it up, but Scotty's 29. But when Tiger was 29, Tiger had 8 majors, not 4.
Mhm.
So there's
That's
some
why.
context. There's some
That's why.
context.
I wanted to bring it up. The comparisons I'm seeing. People are comparing him to Tiger. I'm sorry. First of all, number one, it's way too early.
Yeah.
Number two, he's not even close. Tiger was must-watch TV, dude. Scotty's not must-watch yet. I mean, maybe for the guys like you, Keith, he is, but not for the regular sports fan. Tiger
Again,
was
I
must-watch.
use the analogy of watching, like watching paint dry. I mean, he's just so, he's not a colorful dude. He won and he barely showed any emotion until he got to, his son. And he was pretty stoic, So there's no, Tiger with the fist pumps and, all the,
histrionics.
Yeah, just the emphasis that he shows, the passion. Scotty's just more subdued, and I think that's part of the secret sauce. He is a bad man. There's no doubt about it.
But Jordan Spieth was a bad man about 3 or 4 years ago. We thought he was going to be the next dominant golfer. I did anyway.
Yeah. I never got into Jordan Spieth thing. I mean, he give him his flowers. He put some work in and did some damage, but I don't think Scotty's going to kind of go away. I think it's just his mental approach and aptitude is just far too strong. He's got that golf swing where the feet move, and it's kind of his golf swing doesn't look like anyone else's. So
that's me. My feet move.
An injury there, or maybe the timing of that, being able to sync up that golf swing as he gets older and his body changes and things like that, maybe that could become an issue. But between the ears, nobody's better. Not right now. Not since Tiger. Facts.
Go ahead, Jack. Give me your thoughts on the tournament.
Let me run down on some of the notables and how they fared in the tournament.
Yeah.
Some of them look like they did play in sideways rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds by their scores.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Patrick Reed +5, Brooks Koepka +7, Patrick Cantlay +3, Tony Finau +1.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson, he had a good first round, if I recall, but he ended up right there at +1. Jordan Spieth -2. Justin Thomas, a guy I enjoy watching play, -3. Rory McIlroy -10. He was trying. He was really fighting day 3, I felt.
Yeah.
And then your boy, what is it, Denny McCarthy?
Yep. He made the cut.
+3 for Denny. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And then, Keith, there's a dude named Bloor, Bloor. You ever heard of that name?
No. Where'd he finish in the tournament?
Damn near last.
Oh. Oh, shit. That's why I don't know.
That's where I've seen it. Right. That's where I seen it, and I tried to pull some info on them, and it was just getting too late. But,
So some of those
I just thought that-
really bad scores with some of those named golfers that we know. There was a bad side of the draw a little bit. It wasn't significant, but like the guys that went out early Thursday and then late Friday it was a little bit better weather than the guys that went out early Friday. So
it happens. Yeah.
It happens, but it's no excuse for not playing well or not making the cut. But it was a good court tournament. It was kind of benign at the end. It just didn't have a lot of mojo. Scotty felt like he could have won it by 7 or 8. To be honest, if he wanted to, but he just steady Eddie.
Hey, KG, what's your thoughts on this event? What do you have?
I was shocked, to be quite honest. If I got to put it into perspective, I was shocked at how well everybody shot because 17 under, and we were talking 3-4 under. Yeah, I was shocked as hell.
It was beautiful weather.
But this was you got to look at this. This wasn't. You didn't get that oomph from this win, but it was a good win nonetheless. And I got to agree with you, Keith, man. It was like watching paint dry. I just didn't get excited about it. It was like, okay.
Yep. Yeah. And it didn't really quick. I know we got to move on. Remember I was talking about keeping the ball low and flighting your ball? They could have given a damn.
Yep.
They just launched it up as high as they could and just played regular golf like they were, at the Louisiana Open. You know what I'm saying? Like it just – so that just – I feel like that kind of changed – some of the field, at least some of the guys I thought that play well, that play well in the mud or in the wind, as we say. So last thoughts, guys. Each of you give me just a thought or something that you took away from this tournament. Starting with I'll start with you, Keith. This is your thing. So what's your final thought or on this before we move on? My final thought is I'm starting to get a little worried about Morikawa. I'll be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not putting well. He's not playing, he's not shooting well with his iron game. I'm super excited. I'm going to be at the Ryder Cup, and I'm hoping he's going. Right now, I don't think he's on the team.
Okay.
He's going to have to put some work in here this next month to not have to stress out and be a captain's pick from Captain Keegan Bradley. So that's really one of the main things. And then the LIV guys struggled. I'm just not surprised anymore, to be honest. The LIV guys other than DeChambeau, no one can really translate that style of golf into major championships yet. So we'll at least the last 2-3 years. So we'll see how that looks moving forward. And golf, last thing is golf's for me. It's there's a dead zone here. We just got the regular round tournaments here for the next 4 weeks, and then we start to gear up for the Ryder Cup end of September. Yep, that's it for me.
Jack, real quick, final thought.
What I took from it, I was disappointed that there wasn't weather and the scores weren't lower because, you watch the British, you're used to seeing pant legs flapping, mud puddles on the sides of the fairway. I always look forward to that when it says British, It's like, these boys getting ready to go through the gauntlet, but they didn't. Like Keith said, man, they could have been at Cocoa Beach, man. It was beautiful out there all week. They had a little bit, but they were surrounded by weather. It was crazy. So, I was just disappointed at the high scores at the Open.
There you go.
KG, take it away. What you got?
I think it was a good tournament, and I gotta be on the other side without Jack, and I gotta say, the weather. When you got pretty good weather, the first thing I always think about is Pebble Beach, and that's was one of my favorite golf courses growing up. Also, was one of my favorite Michael Jordan cologne scents as well. But Pebble Beach and beautiful golf weather. That's what I always thought about. So I thought this tournament turned out well, and this is our last major of the season, correct?
Yeah, we're making it out. Unfortunately, we should have one this month, and we don't. But one in all.
Comment.
Nah, we don't have time for
from
that.
Anthony. That sounds good. All right.
Yeah, we got to get it. So real quick,
Done it
just
in
a final
15
thought.
seconds.
I just think, like you guys, the weather didn't hit like we thought it was going to hit. With that being said, we're going to come back with the Stephen A. stadium proposal. We're going to try to hit the NBA. We just got to get through do a speed round before we out of here, guys. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Tuesday Night Flight. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back. Whoa, what is this setup?
Hello.
I got you. I got you. Leave it where it's at. I got you. I'm setting it up. I got you.
You gotta warn a brother. You gotta warn a brother.
I got you. I got you.
I want the big box, bro.
Go ahead.
I've been a strong advocate. I've always wanted a stadium in the state of Maryland that the Ravens and the Washington Commanders could share with a lot of employment emanating from DC, but still be able to, because again, you wouldn't have to worry about stuff like this. That's just my personal opinion. That was the idea that I threw out last year, that the Ravens and the Commanders should actually share stadium. You got a minimum of 17 to 18 weeks where you got games there, plus playoff games and all of that stuff, plus events and all.
I'm not even going to play all of that because I got crapped on. I'm not even going to use the word I wanted to use. I got crapped on because I said, hey, we should build a multi-purpose stadium where it's got a dome and you can hold the Commanders, the Caps, the Hoyas, the Wizards, 100,000 seat. You can't have a 100,000 seat stadium, but we got the LA Coliseum. But it's not going to be right. I'm like, it's going to be right. It's going to work. But this right here, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have Baltimore and Washington playing in the stadium, or would you rather have my idea? Which one sounds more feasible, ladies and gentlemen? Please.
Neither.
You got to pick one. There ain't no neither.
Yeah.
Neither's not an answer. You got to pick one.
If I got to pick one, then I'm gonna pick
yours.
yours.
I say no.
If I got to pick one, I'm gonna pick yours. But
okay,
yeah, me too. But both of them are shit.
But here's the thing. I don't understand why Stephen A. would say something like this, because Baltimore and DC are 30 minutes apart. And then you're talking about where you going to put this stadium at? Where you going to put it in Hagerstown?
Well, you're taking 295 in 30 minutes? What are you taking in 30 minutes?
Depends on what time of day you're taking 295 for 30 minutes, because it's not going to be on game day. But this makes absolutely no sense, because this wouldn't be able to go anywhere in DC. It wouldn't be able to go anywhere in Maryland. And if you look at what the Ravens have as far as a stadium, M&T Bank Stadium is not quite 30 years old yet, but it's in better shape than FedEx Field, which is 28 years old. I think M&T Bank Stadium was 98. I think they're about a year or two apart, but right. You can tell what's the better stadium. No.
And then
this right here is a no.
And don't forget that also, in the last couple of years, the state of Maryland has made legislations contribute money to the stadium so they can make upgrades and additions. So that way that whatever issues they're having or whatever's falling apart, they don't get fecal matter sprayed on fans or rails falling on to the field. So they've taken care of that stadium way better than the Commanders have.
It's also downtown of the city. It's on the water damn near. Like it has charm to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a better.
And nice. Let me say this about that stadium.
Yeah.
M&T Bank Stadium, thank you to the Ravens, because I was able to work on that renovation of that stadium. So I got to give a big shout out to the Ravens on that. I was able to work on that renovation of, I think that's the north side. So shout out to them.
At the bank, you can leave the stadium and get into something. You can go right down to the baseball stadium and go over to Pickles and all that. Or you can even go down to the Inner Harbor. It's not that far a walk. Maybe 3 blocks, 4 blocks. My wife's My wife's work used to be right there at Inner Harbor, and I park in her garage, and we walk 3 or 4 blocks to the stadium. So there's something to do in Baltimore, and hopefully there will be with this new Washington Stadium if they build it the way I'd like them to build it, with shops and condos and all that around it, a community around it, not just a stadium. So as far as KG's idea, why build a stadium for all the local teams to play in when they got MCI and they got that stadium down there for soccer and the UFL?
Yeah. KG, we gonna put the Bowie Bay Sox in there too? Like, who else gonna play in it?
Oh,
Hey, man.
no, Chesapeake. Chesapeake Bay Sox.
All the revenue you can get. That way you're busy and you got nothing but money and time.
Okay, but it's Chesapeake Bay Sox. I don't like the name change. I think it's stupid. As close as they are to the Chesapeake Bay is a storm drain. So I don't know why they did that.
You right about that, Jack. You damn right about that.
Chesapeake Bay Sox. Bowie sounded good.
Yeah, but
And then
if you fill up a stadium, just me thinking out loud here, fill up a stadium with a bunch of lower level events, then you're not going to have the dates for the higher level. When Beyonce comes rolling through and some of the bigger rock concerts and things like that. If if the Wizards, if the G League's got a game that night, you know what I'm saying, it ain't gonna work.
G League plays down Upper Marlboro. They play at
they play at the Showplace Arena.
I'm being facetious.
Yes, they do.
And let me say this real quick. Sam had a comment. He said building a stadium in Virginia, that's the worst thing you can do, is build a stadium in Virginia, because it's going to be harder. It's going to be a harder commute, and it's going to cost a lot of money to even get out there, and everything's, you're going to lose fans, because the best part about being a Redskin / football team / Commander fan is the accessibility to the team. It's gotten better at FedEx Field, but nothing's going to ever touch being at RFK, because you're sitting on top of a metro station.
You're wasting your voice talking about Virginia, because whatever that senator was, Lucy, Lucinda, whatever, make sure that there's no stadium thing coming to Virginia anytime soon. So you're just blowing air out your exactly. You're just speaking in tongues. But the one thing we should need to hit is today. Phil Mendelssohn did talk to the Grant and Danny radio show today, and in the midst of that conversation, it sounded like DC really wants in and wants to do this deal. The problem is they want to get things right, and they're just asking for a little time. And I think if they give them till September 15th when they get back in session, and they hold a couple votes, like, it doesn't sound like there's any acrimony. I think if they want to clean up a couple things, this is what I've taken from his conversation. If we can get a couple things in order, I think they'll be good on it. Basically, they want to have a couple things that they can put their names on, say that they asked for, and then get some credit, and then boom, they'll be happy and they'll vote yes for the stadium. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry, I'll cut you off.
It doesn't have to be done today, but it needs to be done by the end of the year.
Needs to be done by September.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, it needs to be done.
The only reason I say that is because that stadium isn't going to be able to be brought down by taking a boulder to it and knocking it down. You want to take this stadium down in pieces. So that's going to be the question or the issue.
That thing should already be down. I understand.
It's not. It's because it's so much. It's so much asbestos. They had to literally try to take pieces, break it down piece by piece before they tore it down.
Well, all their steam pipes and everything, I remember that overhead of us were all wrapped in asbestos. All the pipes were wrapped in that, that asbestos padding. Yeah, that's nasty stuff. I want to jump over to Stephen A. Smith, what he said about let's go up in here in Maryland and build a stadium humongous for both organizations. That's crap. Baltimore fans don't like Washington fans. Washington fans don't like Baltimore fans. The Giants and the Jets used to do that at the Meadowlands. I just don't. Not in today's game.
They still do it now in MetLife.
That's right. But in today's game, I just don't feel you got to share a stadium, man. Hell, apparently we got the money to go build our own, so leave us alone. We don't need the joint stadium. I think that's
No, we're two
idea.
very different places, and we need our own damn spaces. Facts,
We don't need
right?
them Baltimoreans. We don't need them Baltimoreans coming up in our shit.
Bingo.
All right, guys.
I'll say it to anybody.
We at the close to the end of this. We got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Kind of see the speed round. Something you want to hit on? I know Jack wanted to talk a little bit about either Summer League or additions. I don't know if you can do that in the next couple minutes. But I want to give you a voice real quick before we like maybe you want to hit a couple things real quick, some of the big moves, and then we can get a final thought from Keith, a final thought from KG, and then we can get out of here under an hour or at an hour.
Yeah, I'm ready to go Summer League, but free agency, I did notice the Lakers got DeAndre Ayton. God damn, that's a good pickup for them.
No,
And Chris Paul landed with the Clippers back over there. But no, Summer League. Congratulations to the Charlotte Hornets. Went through the Summer League 6-0, averaged 98, almost 99 points a game. That's pretty good in Summer League. They beat Sacramento 83-78 in the finals. Con Canupo had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 threes. Ryan Kalkbrenner. I like Ryan Kalkbrenner. I always have. Came out of Creighton. He was a 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Not many players have done that. I know KG knows who's done it before. Isaac Jones led Syracuse with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and a block. The whole Summer League I enjoyed. The points leader for Summer League, another Duke ball player, because Con Canupo got MVP. Kyle Filipowski averaged almost 30 points a game in Summer League. Drew Timme, 25 points a game, that big boy from Gonzaga. He's playing with Brooklyn. Quentin Jackson had a good Summer League. He's going to be playing ball with Indiana. Reed Shepherd out of Kentucky had a good Summer League. He's playing ball with Houston. And Terrence Shannon out of Illinois, he's going to be running with Minnesota, had a good Summer League. Walter Clayton for Utah. Yeah, that Utah team's going to be sharp. I can't wait to talk NBA preview, man. Coop played 2 games. Cooper Flag, 20 points game. Tyrese Proctor, 4 games, 17 a game. Keyshawn George, Midnight Riders guy. He played 2 games, 17 points, 4 assists a game. So there were some guys that really didn't do much, and that was Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper shot 12% from 3-pointers, man. Derek Queen had a good Summer League. He averaged 11 rebounds a game, played 3 games. Alex Sarr had a good Summer League, not scoring. I'm going to say it one more time. Not scoring, but he averaged 5.5 blocks a game, and he played in 2 or 3 games. So that's just my quick wrap up of what happened in Summer League, man. It was a pretty good run.
Keith, what you got to close us out?
Just 2 quick things. Happy trails to the Honey Badger.
Yes.
On his retirement, man, he was a great player, especially at LSU. Love watching him play. And then really the second thing for me is let's see how Jamal Adams is going to reunite with Pete Carroll out there in Las Vegas with the Raiders. We'll see if he can rejuvenate his career, because after that trade to Seattle, he was injury prone, had a hard time staying on the field, and he didn't play well when he was on the field. So we'll see if he can resurrect his career a little bit there with Pete Carroll.
KG, what you got to close it out?
Well, I'm gonna get to Anthony's comment about the president being able to tell the owner. The president doesn't have anything to do with what the owner of a team can do, and he can't block anything because RFK is not on federal land. So, yeah. So no worries, Anthony. I'm not worried about anything. And sometimes you got to let people talk because they want to hear themselves talk. So, if I want to walk around and thump my chest, if that's the case, the next time we do a show is Thursday. It's gonna be 10 of us in here, and we're gonna do a 5-hour show. If we're gonna talk about things that's not gonna happen. So it's gonna be 10 of us in here, 5-hour show. The boss DJ gonna be locked in the office. tape to a chair. No, we're gonna shrink wrap them to a chair, and we're gonna have all my rowdy friends in here on Thursday night. Let's go. What's up, Jack?
All right,
That's
so
it.
here we go, guys. If you made a comment, I tried to kind of put your comment at the bottom of the screen because we can't address every comment because of time constraints. So we're not ignoring you. We just wanted to show what you said. I apologize, but the boss man put the rules down. With that being said, we want to thank you for coming out for another Tuesday night flight. We will see you tomorrow. Is a rerun of In the Passenger Seat, if I'm right, Jack. Correct me if
Yes,
I'm wrong.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thursday is the Thursday night throwdown. We got Saturday WrestleManiacs. We could bring it back to the Sunday Rise at 11. We come back with the Drive Time at 5, and then Pretenders versus Contenders. And then after that, you right back here with 1 week, 7 days later. With all that being said, it's the Gentleman Jack. Go ahead. What's up?
Just want to say the rerun is going to be with Maryland baseball coach Joe Palumbo. So everybody check that out. He's played a lot of ball, and 4 years at DeMatha, 4 years University of Maryland, and he's the coach at Spalding. Coaching Spalding baseball. Please check it out tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, man.
For Keith, the correspondent, for KG, the big guy, for the Gentleman Jack, I am the Midnight Rider. We want to thank you for your patronage. We're going to get this thing down, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to make sure we keep you involved. But thank you for your involvement today. With that being said, good night, thank you, and enjoy.